everybody, it's Miss Sweet, and this is week 9 of our distance learning. This is our last week of second grade. I can't believe it. Isn't that so weird? But so these are some of the last videos that we're going to do together. You're in your final bit of work for second grade. So this video is going to help you with the week 9, day 1 ELA packet. Week 9, day 1. And then after a couple days, then you're going to be a rising third grader. Wow. Oh my gosh. Can't believe it. Okay, let's go. All right, so coming up first for our phonics and word work, you'll notice that there are pages and pages of these word cards, and that each card has a phrase on it. Your job, you are going to cut these out, and then you're going to have a big stack of phrases that will help you with your fluency. These are phrases that are full of lots of the kinds of letter features and sound features we've worked on all year, as well as a lot of the trick words that we've learned. So these phrases are kind of smushing together all these things that you know how to do as a reader. And the more you practice them, the easier they get. So you'll notice you don't have any other fluency work this week. It's just these cards. So what you're going to do is, once you have your big stack of them, I just want you to practice them each day. Practice reading each word card or phrase card in your most fluent, smooth voice, so that each day you get better and better and better. And all I want you to do is just do that one time each day this week. And then that's it. So no other phonics activities, just these phrase cards. Yeah. Now let's talk your last week of second grade RRW, because this is your culminating task, and I think it will be really fun. Everything we're doing this week is all about taking what you've learned about life in Canada, what you've learned about life in Mexico, putting that together, and then thinking about your own life. What is the same as being a person in DC? What is the same as it is in Mexico or Canada? And what is really special or different about being in DC? So we're going to read another text. We're going to keep thinking about those texts we've already read, but now we're also thinking about our own lives and what is the same and what is different. Okay? So everything we do today, tomorrow, it's all going to come back to answering those questions. Then, as our last part of this unit, you're going to write about your own life, and you're going to teach people from around the world what it's like to be you as a kid in Washington, D.C. So first up, we're going to preview some vocabulary that will be in the text that we read tomorrow. And this text is all about figure skating. So I want you to go through and check out these pictures and read the words and the definitions for these 5 vocabulary words that are going to help us get ready for our text tomorrow. Spend like 3 or 4 minutes doing that real quick. Then think about a sport that you play, because all these words connect to sports. So they give you a sentence frame that you can use, or you don't have to, but they say, I practice days every week. I do or do not have to run laps to practice for this sport. So you're going to think about a sport that you do. Maybe it's even something that you would play at recess with your friends. Or maybe you play a sport after school. Or maybe you do something like taekwondo or dance or cheerleading. So many things. But you're going to write a couple sentences to tell about it, because that is going to connect back to figure skating, which is what we are going to read about tomorrow. So write a little bit, complete sentences about a sport that you play. Then we are going to start thinking about what we already know. So there's a big graphic organizer. The first part looks like this, and it's basically asking you about a part of life, and then what it's like in Mexico, what it's like in Canada, and what it's like in DC. Okay, so this first one is all about cultural history. So cultural history, this is kind of a tricky one to start, so let's do it together. But what they're talking about are, what are these places like? What are the people like? What do they care about? So For example, it asks, are they multicultural? Do lots of different kinds of people live there? Or is everybody who lives there kind of the same? So we know from our text that a lot of different kinds of people live in Mexico, a lot of different kinds of people live in Canada, and a lot of different kinds of people live in DC, right? So let's fill that out. So here's what I was thinking. Um, I used a lot of my background knowledge and what I've learned from the texts. You can go ahead and look at the text again if you want there in your packet, or just think about what you learned from them. So I know that Mexico and Canada are multicultural. Lots of different kinds of people live there. And I was thinking about it, DC is very multicultural too, right? Then I was thinking, that means a lot of different kinds of people live there. That's true for all three of these places. Then I was thinking about where people come from. Okay, so in Mexico, there's a lot of ancestors who a long time ago came from Spain. Remember when we talked about the first settlers? So the settlers came from Spain, but also there are all the people who were there before that, right? And that's the same land, it's just now it's called Mexico. In Canada, it's the same. There were settlers from France, and they came over to Canada, but there were also all the people who were already there, right? Now, in DC, I was thinking about it, and we have people from all over the world, right? And some of those people were born here in our city, and some people were born somewhere else and then they came to our city, right? In families, sometimes some people were born here and some people weren't, and that's okay. But that kind of has to do with our cultural heritage. Okay, so that's what I wrote for mine. You can go ahead and copy the exact same thing, or if you're thinking something different, go ahead and write that. So you're going to keep doing the exact same thing. You're going to do it for climate, landforms, and animals. Remember, climate means weather. You're going to think about the food. What is food like in each place? And what are families like in each place? Okay? And they forgot to put the titles of the countries at the top, so I added Mexico, Canada, and DC. You could do that too. So you're going to do those three, and then you're going to do it with jobs, with art, which includes music and dancing, and activities that they do for fun. Remember, you can use what's already in your brain. You can go back to the texts, which are in your packet. But you're going to jot down all of those ideas, and I promise they will come in handy tomorrow. Then you have one more thing. I know this is a lot, but I think this one's going to be fun and easy. Now you're going to come up with questions that people might have about you. So the example they give are, what are my favorite foods? So you're going to use the question words that are right there. What, where, when, why, who, and how. And you are going to come up with questions that people might want to know about you. Okay? And when you're done with that, you are done for RW today. I know that was a lot, but you are going to do amazing. So go ahead and get started with those things. Once you're done answering those or coming up with your own questions, that's the last part. And then we'll keep working tomorrow. Okay, awesome. Can't wait to read what you come up with. Okay, bye.